If you only have 30 minutes a day, do this. If you only have 30 minutes a day to build extra income, most advice will tell you that's not enough. You need more time, more hours, more hustle. But here's the interesting part. Some professionals are building consistent extra income in less than an hour a day. So the real question isn't, do you have enough time? It's, are you using your time correctly? And today I'm going to show you exactly what to do if 30 minutes is all you have. The time illusion. Let's be honest, most working professionals don't lack ambition, they lack time. Your day already looks something like this: work, meetings, emails, responsibilities. By the time evening arrives, you're not starting fresh. You're continuing from exhaustion. So when someone says, just spend 3 to 4 hours building a side hustle, that advice sounds good, but it doesn't match reality. And this is where most people get stuck. Because they try to force a full time strategy into a part time life. A small observation: I noticed something interesting. The professionals who are actually making progress with limited time were not doing more. Guess what? They were doing less, but with more structure. Instead of trying to learn everything, they followed one simple process. Instead of reacting emotionally, they followed rules. Instead of long sessions, they focused on short, repeatable execution. Why 30 minutes is enough? Now, this might sound counterintuitive, but 30 minutes is enough. Yeah, if the system is designed correctly, because income systems don't reward time alone. No, they reward consistency and structure. Think about it like going to the gym. 3 hours once a week, rarely produces results. But 30 minutes consistently, that changes everything. Income works the same way. The real problem, let's look at that. The problem isn't time, it's friction. Most extra income strategies require too many decisions, too much analysis, too much setup. And when your brain is already tired, friction becomes the reason nothing happens. So the goal is not to add more time, the goal is to remove friction. The 30-minute system. So here's what actually works. If you have only 30 minutes a day, you need a system with these three characteristics: clear, controlled, repeatable, which is exactly what the 3C trader method is built on. Let's break it down. C1, clarity. What to do in 30 minutes? The biggest mistake people make is this: they use their 30 minutes to figure things out, watching videos, researching strategies, jumping between ideas. That's not execution, that's confusion. Clarity means you already know exactly what to do before the 30 minutes starts. One system, one process, one action, no decision making, just execution. C2, control. Protecting your time and energy. The second mistake is emotional decision making. You sit down and suddenly start reacting to everything, changing plans, overthinking, second guessing. That destroys efficiency. Control means rules are predefined: when to act, when not to act, how much to risk, how long to spend. Your 30 minutes becomes structured, not chaotic. C3, consistency. The real advantage. This is where everything compounds. 30 minutes today might not feel much, but 30 minutes repeated daily becomes Powerful, because consistency reduces variability, and reduced variability creates predictable outcomes. This is a part most people underestimate. Small actions repeated consistently outperform large efforts done occasionally. A simple comparison. Let's compare two people. Person A spends 3 hours once a week when they feel motivated. Person B spends 30 minutes every day with a structured system. After 3 months, person B is almost always ahead, not because they worked harder, but because they were consistent. A pop culture insight. There's a reason why this shows up in movies like The Karate Kid, wax on, wax off. At first, it looks repetitive, almost pointless, but later, those simple actions become skill because repetition builds mastery. Income systems work the same way. The 30-minute blueprint. So if you only have 30 minutes a day, here's the structure. Minute 0 to 5, review your system and conditions. Minute 5 to 25, execute the defined process. Minute 25 to 30, log results and close. No distractions, no multitasking, no improvising, just structured execution. Now, the real shift, the biggest mindset shift is this. Stop asking, how can I do more in less time? Start asking, how can I reduce decisions in limited time? Because when decisions are removed, execution becomes easier. And when execution becomes easier, consistency becomes possible. 30 minutes is not a limitation. Unstructured time is, because even a small amount of time applied consistently inside the right system can produce meaningful results. If you've been waiting until you have more time, you might be waiting too long. Because the professionals who succeed don't wait for perfect condition. They build systems that work within the time they already have. Clarity, control, consistency. Because when the structure is right, even 30 minutes a day is enough to build real extra income.